Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the first meeting of the Madera County Board of Supervisors. It's a special meeting here in the beautiful community of Oakhurst. Happy New Year. County Council, do we have any reportable actions out of closed session?
Madam Chair, there is reportable action from your closed session. On a motion by Supervisor Poitras, seconded by Supervisor Wamhoff, the Board of Supervisors unanimously approved the release of attorney-client work product information maintained by the County Counsel's Office that has been prepared by Ludorf and Scalmanini Consulting Engineers. The purpose for the release of this information is for mediation in the ongoing litigation noted on the agenda as Elizabeth Cardoza versus the Madera County Groundwater Sustainability Agency, and the work product maintains the privileges associated with such mediation. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, we will open and close the meeting in memory of, do any of my colleagues wish to recognize someone? Supervisor Poitras.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to recognize the recent passing of Jim Barsotti. Jim passed on January 1st. He was 87 years old. He would have been 88 on the 24th of January. As everybody that knows him, great guy, you know, just a wonderful community member, and he and his wife Donna were very involved in the real estate industry, the title business, and yeah, he didn't, everybody he met was a friend, and so my condolences go to Mark and Steve and Carla at this time, but yeah, we all lost a good friend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And Supervisor Rogers.
Yes, I want to recognize Jim McCulloch, who was a longstanding member of the community in Chowchilla, a heavy equipment contractor. He actually did some work for the county on the clearing of the sloughs, invented a machine that actually did it, the mowing, and that's the kind of guy he was. Saw a problem, figure out a solution, and solve it, and he was actually we traded work. He did some work for me, building the house pad that I live in right now, and he's been around Chowchilla most of his life. He will be terribly missed.
Thank you. Okay, at this time we will have our invocation by Pastor Michael Musacchio, of Sierra Pines Church in Oakhurst, and I will ask Supervisor Wheeler, former Supervisor Wheeler, to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance after.
Thank you so much. I'll keep this brief before I pray, just simply that this is not a platform for me to do what I call a sneak a preach. But as my history here goes back 3 generations, I just wanted to say, because I have an audience for a moment, thank you for having a vision for our community. Thank you for the one thing that unifies us that we can't agree upon in our mountains. The beautiful part of a great and growing county. And as we're public servants, before I pray, I just simply want to say thank you. From my heart to yours, in a role of public service where we only hear criticism or emails that complain. Tom, I see you. From my heart to yours, just thank you for loving our community, our mountains, and the people we serve. So if you wouldn't, let's bow our heads. Heavenly Father, we ask for your wisdom as this meeting begins. We acknowledge that we need your wisdom and insight, and we welcome you in your presence among us, knowing that an invocation is simply asking that you care for us as we care for the people in this community. I ask that you would guide these leaders in their discussions and their decisions, helping them to seek what is best for all involved. I believe they do carry a vision for this community, and though there may be competing visions, ultimately there is hope for unity and the betterment of our communities. I pray you would give them clarity and a compelling vision that these supervisors would be able to clearly communicate to the people we serve. And just as Nehemiah served as a civil engineer, rebuilding what had been torn down, I ask that you would strengthen their hands. I pray that you would continue to use them to rebuild anything left in ruin and encourage them in this community to share that vision as we put our trust in you, your perfect wisdom, and ask that you direct this meeting according to your will. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Yep. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you both for that. Moving on to the first order of business is the reorganization of the Board of Supervisors. Madam Clerk? 6A. You want mine? Oh, I can't. It's
6A, Board of Supervisors Department, discussion and approval of the reorganization of the chair and chair pro tem for the 2026 calendar year and related presentations. First will be a nomination for chair. Second will be a nomination for chair pro tem. There will be a passing of the gavel and the chair's welcome speech, along with potentially the current chair's bid farewell speech.
Okay. May I have a nomination for the chair, please?
I move that we elect Bobby McCauley as the chair for this year.
I'll second that motion.
Wonderful. And then we will move on to the nomination of the vice chair, so we can do it all in one motion.
I move the nomination of Jordan Wamhoff for vice chair.
I second that nomination.
Wonderful. Do we have any public comment on this item? I have That's only one vote.
This isn't a wedding, Tom.
Okay, I'll close public comment and we will call for the vote.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Yes.
Supervisor Wamhoff?
Yes.
Supervisor McCauley?
Yes.
Chair Gonzalez?
Absolutely, yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Yay. So it says the passing of the gavel. We have no gavel. I will pass over the mic and we will swap seats and thank you.
But we do have a gavel. And so my first order of business will be to recognize my good friend, Leticia Gonzalez. And it just so happens yesterday, we were talking about silent service and really what that means. Just to go out and serve your community, not in seek of recognition, but because it's the right thing to do. And I think we here at Madera County, that is a notion that we live each and every day. And so I do have this small token of appreciation for the first Latina supervisor of Madera County, my good friend, Letty Gonzalez. Perfect. Did you have anything you wanted to say? Any closing
No,
remarks?
I just want to say thank you very much. It's been an incredible year. I think I said it all at the last meeting, and now it's your turn, Bobby. So I'm very excited for you and excited for you and Jordan to lead us this year.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Get my stuff here.
Spelled my name right.
Perfect. It's always a good start. So, for me, this is really kind of an amazing experience. So, as most of you know, I've been here at the county for about 6 years, and this will be my final year in office. So it's really fortunate for me that I have this opportunity to serve as chair of this board. You know, and as I'm looking forward to the future, I really can't help but look back as, you know, what we've done over the past 6 years, but more importantly, some of the relationships that I've helped build in the county and in the community. And it's those relationships that I think are most important to me. You know, the folks in the county that get up every day, go to work, they work extra hours, they work nights, they work evenings, they work long hours during disasters, and they do it all with a smile on their face in service of our community, in service of the residents here in Oakhurst and throughout Madera County. So it's those people, I think, that are most important to me, and those relationships that I built that I'll cherish the most. You know, we've accomplished a lot over the last 6 years, from policy to programs to buildings being built, amazing accomplishments, fire stations, new workspaces, bridges, roads, you name it, we've done it. But more importantly, I want to give our administration, particularly Joel Begay, some credit because we've done some amazing work on our budget. No surprise to many people here, Madera County recently found ourselves in the tabloids. But I think, when we look at the situation as a whole, the progress we've made over the last 4 years as a result of the downturn in the economy, as a result of, escalating expenses for the county, we've done a tremendous job, starting with the previous board who put some cost-saving measures in place, and we've continued to tighten our belt over the last 3 years. And as a result, I'm very proud and very excited that this June, we'll be able to pass our first balanced budget since I've been in office. And that is incredibly important to me because it means that we get to move forward in Madera County with some assurance that we are fiscally solvable, that we are going to be building reserves and looking to a brighter future. Many of you know we are the fastest growing county in California, but you may not know we're doing that responsibly. The development going down in the valley is paying their own way. Every fire station that is built is 15 additional CAL FIRE personnel that are serving our community. Every home that is built is additional dollars that go to towards deferred maintenance of our roads, whether that's 41 expansion, Avenue 12 expansion, or an essential evacuation route here in the community of John West and Oakhurst. So we have a bright future ahead of us with the leadership of our new CAO, Matthew Trieber, as well as some great leadership in all of our departments, from animal services to our WIC department. I'm so proud to call you all my colleagues. So I'm looking forward to a great year. 2026 is just going to be amazing. But with that, I think we're going to get on with the meeting, and we're going to move on to, I guess, public comment is our next item on the agenda. So with that. So with that, the first 15 minutes of each regular session are set aside for members of the public to address the board on any matter under the jurisdiction of the board but not appearing on the agenda. The board will take no action on any items presented under public comment. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Anyone addressing the board is asked to print their name clearly on the speaker sheet and at the podium and state their name and county of residence for the record.
Good morning, members of the board. Jamie Bax, Community and Economic Development Department. I just wanted to make a brief introduction. Brian Guerrero is a new deputy planning director that started with us yesterday. Very excited to have him on board. That position has been vacant for a few years now, so I'm very appreciative of the help he's going to bring to our department. So I just wanted to introduce him and let him say hello.
Hi, good morning. Thank you, Jamie, and thank you, members of the board. Brian Guerrero, Deputy Director for Planning, and I'm excited to join the CED team and serve the community members of Madera. Thank you.
Welcome, Brian.
Welcome.
Thank you.
That was quick. John Perro, and I celebrate my 25th anniversary this year for being in this area, in Ahwahnee. This is just a quick request. I know there's been a lot of work done on the short-term rentals over the last couple of months, and I'm glad that you guys are meeting up here in District 5 today. My request would be, since a lot of the short-term rentals have to do with the gateway communities, such as up here, that when we do hold that meeting to approve or vote on that short-term rental, that you could actually do that up here in District 5. So that would be my request.
I'm taller than those guys, right? Good morning and Happy New Year. I was thinking about 2026 and this meeting, and I'm thankful and I'm disappointed. I'm thankful that the board chose this time to come and see us here in District 5. This is a beautiful facility, and it's most likely way underused, but we appreciate you being here. Why am I disappointed? I'm disappointed because 4 of the 5 members of this board are not in District 5. They have their own interests in the valley. They have their own priorities for money and expenditures, and it concerns me that the Gateway community, as was mentioned already, a gateway to Yosemite, gateway to the High Sierras, the ATV use up there, hiking, and of course Bass Lake. There is very little, it seems to me, and I'm welcome to be corrected, there seems to be far less attention to the fact that this district generates significant revenue for the county, and the money doesn't seem to make its way back here very often. Certainly not when there is such a price to pay. There's a price with our roads. There's a price with facilities. There's a price with neighborhoods, as with the STVR discussion that's been going on. Maybe I'm asking for some simple consideration for the residents of this district, tax-paying residents of this district. I'm 10 years here now. My wife was actually raised in Bass Lake. And what I see is just a disregard for that. The recent mooring ordinance, for example, where there's a handful of residents that would moor their pontoons on the lake, and now they can't do that unless they pull it off every 2 weeks and put it back on the next day. Rather absurd, but that's the way it has been passed by this board. Parking violations around the lake with no enforcement. There's a big, well, he's supposed to do that, CHP or Madera County, and yet all you have to do is drive down that south side of the lake someday. Gentlemen, I would challenge you to do that and see the mess, the trash that's generated. And by the way, I can't think of another lake in this state or anywhere else for that matter that doesn't have a fee of some kind for that kind of usage. And don't tell me about the parking that's there. It's very small areas. They pay their $10, and then there are hundreds, if not thousands, of additional cars parked along the road. The STVR ordinance, driven by housing element requirements, I don't know what's driving it, but please give it some serious consideration. There's certainly some problems driven in the neighborhoods these days. And one thing to consider in that context might be more encouragement of hotel revenue. Think about it. You have a 5-bedroom home that is rented as a rental. You get 1 TOT. That's it, per night. You get 5 rooms in a hotel. I can count, right? 5 rooms in a hotel. You get 5 rooms of revenue. So appreciate your time and Happy New Year.
Can we just have you state your name for the record?
I'm sorry, David Hall,
Thank you.
Oakhurst.
Thank you, David.
Good afternoon, Board. Krista Riggs, Library Director. Sorry, let me know if I'm too loud here. I just wanted to share some really exciting news for Madera County Library for our Chowchilla branch. We've been selected as just one of 20 libraries in the whole country and the only library in California to receive the Infinite Sums Grant from the Association for Rural and Small Libraries and the Simons Foundation. And this is an initiative that supports engaging high-quality math experiences for children, families, and the community to build a new national network of math ambassadors through fun programming such as Pi Day coming up in March. This grant recognizes the Chowchilla branch's commitment to innovative learning and community engagement. Funding will help expand opportunities for hands-on public programming that builds curiosity, confidence, and problem-solving skills, and will also cover the cost for our children's librarian to attend a national training in New York City and to attend a national library conference in Alabama. And we're thrilled that she will get this experience from all of her hard work. So we're really proud to see Madera County Library recognized on this national level. So, thank you.
Thank you, Krista. Good morning.
Morning, everybody. My name's Cindy Phillips, and I'm in Madera County. That's why I'm here. Since I have 3 minutes, I guess I have to speed talk. But first thing I want to talk about is, which I'm sure you hear regularly, is the roads. As you know, as a taxpayer, all the money that comes into the government system all comes from us, all us people paying taxes. We pay taxes for literally decades and decades and decades. And yet our roads still are terrible. I've never seen any roads throughout our neighborhoods paved. They get patched, and we patch the patches. And I will give you credit in that you guys have done the best job I've seen in patching patches. But there comes a point where we actually need them to be paved. And I would really like to see that. I see these projects going towards Tesoro Viejo, which probably isn't you guys. But, you know, they spent 2 years blocking traffic, changing a 2-lane road into a nice 2-lane road. Give me a break. We have all these roads that are so much worse than that. And I really like to see the roads that the people drive regularly, we need to see those paved. Okay? That's one thing. By the way, there seems to be enough money to make these wonderful government buildings, and I see $3 million in the agenda going to be transferred, it looks like, for another building project. If you have money to make these buildings and all these government buildings, which we're paying for, yet we don't get our roads fixed. So if you can come up on and for all those, you can pave some of our roads. Because our carts take a beating, rattling over all these roads. Okay, that's one thing. Can we move on? State of emergency, I saw in the agenda there was like confirming, I think, 3 or 4 state of emergencies. I don't understand everything, and I don't have, fortunately, time to get clarification, so I can just go off my gut. Some of these state of emergencies appear to be ongoing since 2015. We're clearly well past that. I don't know all the ramifications, but these are my concerns. Is in the past we've seen where the governor or whatever declares a state of emergency, and that gives him authority or excuse to basically overrun our constitutional rights as citizens and to bypass that. And I want the board to please be mindful of that, because you are here on our behalf to protect our constitutional rights, not to let them be infringed upon. So I want to ensure that nothing, that you guys are well aware of anything that might be coming to try to threaten the potential of overriding our rights as citizens. Okay, and then kind of along with that theme is that, again, we represent you to be here on our best interests. You're here to protect the citizens, our constitutional rights, and our best interests. And we want to ensure you do that and not act on behalf of some political party or a political agenda, because we've seen that happen way too often, where these politicians, many of them start off good, but once they get into the system, it's just a matter of time, whether they're bribed or they're blackmailed or they're threatened. But whatever way,
wrap it up, we do appreciate your comments.
whatever
but
way
we're
it is,
limited to
they
3 minutes.
compromise, and we want you to not compromise on protecting and defending our rights. Thank you.
Thank you.
I guess there's some more, but I'm Tom Wheeler, if you don't know.
2 minutes.
And I just wanted to thank the board and all the administration and everything for having a meeting up here and in our great government building that we worked our tails off to get it done. And I want to thank you for finishing it. That's something that I did start back then, and and Mr. Hall there, if that's his name, if I remember right, about Bass Lake. If he wants to meet with me sometime, I'll tell him all about Bass Lake, because we don't know hardly any of it, if anything. So he needs to get educated on how that works. So anyway, I know you guys can't answer that, but I can, because I'm out here. So anyway, thank everybody for coming. And I'm not bashful, so you guys don't have to worry about that. And I don't know if we're supposed to sign that or not. Huh? Oh, okay. Thank you, everybody, and thanks everybody for coming to this meeting. So thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Morning, David.
Good morning, good afternoon. David Richdown, Auditor Controller. First of all, Happy New Year to everyone. Congratulations, Supervisor McCauley, on your chairmanship, and Supervisor Gonzalez on your past chairmanship. I just wanted to briefly let you know the Auditor Controller's Office completed our fiscal 25 annual comprehensive financial report. The auditors audited. It was issued December 30th, so we met our goal of getting it done before the end of the calendar year. And I want to recognize Victoria Cantu in our department and all the staff, and that's it.
Thank you, David. Happy New Year.
Good afternoon, Chairman McCauley, Jordan, members of the board, Matt and team here in Madera, Nathan with PG&E. Just wanted to come and give a quick update on an email that I sent to the board and some of the team here at Madera County. For the fourth time in 2 years, PG&E residential customer bills are going down. We have reduced rates for the fourth time in 2 years. That is due to a number of different belt tightening initiatives and different things that PG&E is doing. This is just another one of the small steps, as we've talked about before, of us making meaningful change that helps save customers, especially at the residential level, on their bills. So I'd look forward to coming back before the board later on during the year to give a more comprehensive update on what we're doing, the work that we're doing. We're doing a ton of work in District 5, love District 5, and throughout the county to make sure that we increase reliability, increase capacity, and work alongside you to ensure that Madera County is and continues to be the best place to do business.
Thank you, Nathan. On to Rhonda.
Good morning and Happy New Year. Rhonda Salisbury, resident of Oakhurst and your CEO of the Visitors Bureau. I'm here on behalf, at this moment, of as the president of the Eastern Madera County Foundation, and I wanted to introduce you all to Francia Salas, and she is our nonprofit manager of this amazing organization that we're all a part of. She is helping corral cats. We're working with all the chambers. We're doing grants for community projects, for nonprofits, for trying to help with the Parks and Recs, our own little Parks and Recs department here, and we're just out there helping every nonprofit and every community organization that we can. So she is your go-to gal. She's fantastic and shy at the moment, but I wanted her to introduce you and let her say hi.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Hello, it's a pleasure. This room is very scary to me, but I'm happy to be here, and I'm very happy to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome, Franzia.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I have a public comment, and mine is more of a recognition. I'd just like to recognize a couple that I met, about 26 years ago, right next door when I was working for Bank of Madera County. And I hope they're pleased with today's appointment of our chair because it's Doug and Susan McCauley. So I'd just like to point them out. So thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Do we have any public comment online? No public
None
comment
online.
Excellent. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our consent calendar. All matters listed under the consent calendar are considered to be routine and will be enacted by one motion. Do any of my colleagues on the board have any items they wish to review for further consideration?
Yes, Chair. Not any particular item, but related to some of the disasters. And if maybe we could have the sheriff come up and just explain some of these disaster designations and why we vote on them at the board.
Welcome, Sheriff.
You gonna share the mic? All right. Thank you, Supervisor. I plan on coming up in public comment for this, so I appreciate that invitation. So just as an educational piece, anytime we have a state of emergency within the county system, that doesn't necessarily, or it doesn't infringe on any constitutional rights. What it does allow is us to access certain equipment, projects, and funding from our state and federal partners. Now, a lot of these disasters are quite old, as pointed out, but what happens in these disaster declarations is there's a back and forth between the funding sources, whether it's CDAA through the state or FEMA through the federal system. There has to be approved projects in those. Those projects there's a back and forth as to which projects are going to be approved, in what manner they're approved. It's a very lengthy process. Once all those projects are approved, then the work gets done, and then after all that, there's a recovery period where we have to go in and seek our reimbursement for all those funds. That reimbursement is a extremely difficult process. There are people on the other end at the state and federal level who their entire job is to try to reject those payments to save the state and the federal money. So we have to respond to constant requests and demands from those agencies. Well, as a county, we want to be able to recover our funding from the staff time that goes into responding to all those requests. If we close out our disaster too early, we don't have access to any of that funding that is a result of all these, in my opinion, often unnecessary demands from our state and federal partners. So does that clear up anything else? You'd
I
like
think
to-
that's perfect, and a perfect example is when we had our snowstorms a couple years ago. The county spent millions of dollars with snow removal, and we're still trying to recover those funds. We haven't received any of those funds yet. So.
And it's a significant amount of funding back to our local, our local county. It's extremely important. We're so lucky here in Madera County to have, I'll argue probably one of the best cost recovery personnel in the entire state. So it's Sergeant Wilder. He's amazing at what he does. He's very detailed during these disasters to ensure we get proper cost recovery, which is very important to all of us in this room, that we're not losing out on potential refunding from the government. So,
Thank you, Sheriff. Supervisor Rogers?
Yeah, I thought that was great that Jordan brought up the snow removal. That was $10 million, I believe, was the figure. And just to educate some of the people that are up here about the things that are done countywide, even from those in District 2, District 1, and District 3 and District 4, we represent the entire county, and we serve the entire county. And millions of dollars have been invested in tree removal under our disaster declaration on the bark beetle. Millions from the county have been invested in that tree removal program. Millions have been invested in snow removal. There's been multiple things that we could talk about that have been done from the districts that you say don't care anything about District 5. That one of you said that. But, and Tom knows. And if it weren't for the advocacy of your local representative, Tom Wheeler and Bobby McCauley have been excellent representatives for your community, because they have procured that money by goodwill from their fellow supervisors. We work together. This is our county. I spend half of my time up here playing in Yosemite, and one of my favorite restaurants anywhere in the country, maybe the world, Smokehouse 41 Barbecue. I love that place. I love that place. And I was so disappointed we had the meeting on Tuesday because they're closed on Tuesday. But anyway, we work together, and that's what this is all about. We could go through lists and lists of things. There are more firehouses up here than there are in D2. You ought to drive D2 roads. District 2 roads are horrible. I have the most miles of any district in this county, but I'll compare PCI with you any day of the week. You guys have better roads, triple better. And that was because of the advocacy of that guy right there, sitting over there. He made sure that it was taken care of. Anyway, I get redundant, but I want you to know we work for everybody in this county. Thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Chair, if I can add
Those
one
comments.
brief thing.
Yes.
It's also important to know when we do these projects, like we had a bridge that washed out during one of the floods down in the valley area, we don't just build it back to the way it was, because obviously it failed for a reason. So both the federal requirements and the state requirements, as well as our own, to be fiscally prudent, we build it back so it doesn't fail again. So sometimes those additions take extra time, whether it's getting, the different approvals and, the environmental hoops and stuff we have to jump through. So.
Thank you, Sheriff. And I do want to recognize Sergeant Wilder, who is here, who runs our Office of Emergency Services. None of this would happen without him. So thank you, Sergeant, for all of your great work. With that, unless there are any additional comments or questions from my colleagues, we will go out to public comment on our consent calendar. Do we have any public comment in the room or online?
None
Move to
online.
approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Wamhoff?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Aye.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chair McCauley?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Excellent, thank you. We're going to go ahead and move on to our discussion items. We're going to start with item 9A.
Board of Supervisors Department presentation recognizing the 2025 Yosemite High School Girls Tennis Team Northwest Sequoia League Championship title.
So I think we're going to give them just a moment. I think they're out in the lobby and hopefully on their way in. While we're waiting for them to come in, I do want to make sure the public is aware that, you know, we didn't do this meeting up in Oakhurst just for little old me. We're actually doing some audio video upgrades down in our office in Madera. So just so happens that this is all working out very well. So I do appreciate everybody working with us as we work through our limitations here in a smaller chambers. They coming in the side door? Perfect. Hey, there we go. Come, how are you? Good. How are you? Good. Very good. Come on in. Yay. Right? All of them?
Whoa, there's quite a few.
Excellent. So very happy to be introducing this item today. We've got some wonderful student athletes from Yosemite High School with us from the girls tennis team. As I understand it, they had an undefeated season. And not only were they undefeated in their regular season, but they were also successful in the Northwest Sequoia League Championship, which is another great feat. And to get there, as I understand it, they had to defeat a team that had not suffered a loss in over 6 years. That is Fresno Christian. So that is quite an amazing experience and endeavor. So we're very happy to have you all here. Coach, did you want to say a few words?
Yeah, Bobby, you make us sound better than we were. We could be better.
There we go.
We ended up 17-1.
Okay.
We lost in the quarterfinals of the CIF Division III tournament, but these girls did a terrific. They did beat Fresno Christian High School, and we just hadn't beaten them in all those years. They had suffered other losses, but they have been the league champions as long as we've been in their league, so it was a big deal. And the day we were playing them, we started practice. Well, today is the first day of practice for next year, and we put the date on the calendar when we were going to play that high school because we wanted to be ready. And the day came, and they were just pumped up, and we had 100 people there watching. Normally we have 5, and we had 100 there. Patrick had invited everybody on his Facebook page to come, and the girls were really excited. I wanted to kind of bring them down a little bit, so I said, look, this is just a match. It's just a game. Your parents are still going to love you if we lose. The sun will still come up tomorrow. You'll still be students at Yosemite High School. And they were quiet for about 5 seconds. And then one of the girls said, you don't know my parents. And another girl standing right over here stepped into the middle of the circle and said, I don't care what the old man says. This is the most important game of the year, and we will win it. So they're very competitive, very fun. And just to give you 2 little bits of facts, and then we'll be done here. I didn't put in the last 2 matches, but up to the last 2 matches, our top 8 players' record was 194 individual wins and 23 losses. So we went to a tournament. We've won it 2 years in a row now. And this year, we won the tournament, and we not only won it, but we won it 36 wins to 0 losses. I mean, we won every match. They're very good. And lastly, we have a lot of people to thank. Sandra Wade, our athletic director, was very supportive of us and helped us. The parents were wonderful. And it wasn't their record that was impressive, because you can get a good record just by playing bad teams. And we played some bad teams. But it was how hard they worked. I've coached tennis for a lot of years, and this team worked hard. And when I told them I was going to push them harder, they said good. And they challenged me to push them harder, and I really liked that. They were hardworking, they played well, they were gracious, they were friendly, they were kind. They were a lot of fun. Most of it was aimed at Mark and I, the two coaches, but we had a great time. And Madera County would not be a significantly better place if we had 8 more great tennis players. But it would be a significantly better place if we had 15 more of these girls. They are wonderful girls. And I hope you guys and ladies, all of you, someday get to stand up here and somebody thanks you for your service, because we appreciate it, we benefit from it. So hope you get on the other end of this.
Thank you.
I'm done, and Sandra, you want to patch these? We've got some patches that we got for
We
being-
also have some certificates, but real quick, I wanted to invite Emily from Assembly Member David Tangipa's office. She had a certificate or a plaque she wanted to present as well, so just real.
Well, I'm honored to be here on behalf of Assemblyman David Tangipa, and I brought the special certificate because as a former athlete of this sport myself for many years, I understand that this is one of the most challenging sports to play and succeed at, both mentally and physically. It's a testament to each and every one of you standing up here. While this sport is recognized as a team, you don't get there without each individual player, and you have to face a lot of loss to get a win in tennis, and it's challenging to continue to strive at it and to succeed at it. So I wanted to congratulate each and every one of you, because it is the effort of all of you standing here that you've achieved this championship and the leadership of both of the coaches here. So congratulations, and wonderful, wonderful work.
So we have some patches you're going to pass out.
Yeah, it's Northwest Supply League Girls Tennis 2025 League Champions.
Excellent.
We're in a new league next year.
Congratulations. Can we gather up for a little picture real quick as well? Is that okay? Perfect. I think maybe the board stand behind and the team stands up front. Does that work okay? Congratulations.
Don't worry about it. Congratulations, ladies.
Congrats.
You're just going to get a picture.
Congrats,
taken,
ladies.
So smile pretty.
Is that going to work? Letty, do you want to go up front?
Yeah. We're in enough pictures. You guys are.
Oh, yeah, maybe they can.
You good?
I didn't want to be the one to tell them that they're coaching.
There you go.
I don't think you're taller that way.
We can hold the chair. You want to get back? Yay, there we go.
Bobby's going to spin me around.
No, definitely not. Congratulations, ladies.
Okay, ladies, I'll call your name. Lorelei. Lily. Lily. Tiana. Kate.
And
Aaron.
Sheriff, if I may,
Sierra.
I feel like we would be remiss for a lot of these young ladies. There's also a potential tennis mentor in the house, Madera County's Executive Director for Economic Development, Christina Gallagher. She's in the back there. Go ahead and stand up for us. She got so Christina Gallagher, she got a full ride scholarship for tennis at Utah State. And so if you ladies are looking to Look up to someone who has played tennis at a high level. She's right there in the back, the blonde one. You can't miss her. Wave, Christina, so they can all see you.
Thank you for those comments, Supervisor. Any other comments from my colleagues on the board? And do we have any public comment? Doesn't seem none. Congratulations once again, ladies. We hope to see you back next year.
Chair, if I might make a point of order, we did have one public comment online during the public comment session that we missed. His name is Larry Bonham. He might still be waiting to speak if you want to go back to the public comment section. And during my reporting out, I said Board of Supervisors, you were acting as Board of Directors.
Thank you for that clarification. And if we can go online to Mr. Bonham.
Hey, thank you, and apologies for my technology impairment here. So I guess my real question, how should we be providing feedback on, as an example, the short-term rental proposal in terms of specific details, MIAs, suggestions and ideas for those things that require much more than a 3-minute comment?
I would encourage you to submit all comments to our Community and Economic Development Department. You can also submit comments in person when we do public meetings. And Larry, I can reach out to you directly.
Awesome. Thank you, sir, and congratulations.
Thank you. All right, with that, we are going to go ahead and move on to item 9B, which is another fun one.
Board of Supervisors Department presentation of a proclamation naming Madera County as the carved bear capital of the world.
Excellent. All right, Rhonda, we're going to bring up our Executive Director, Rhonda Salisbury from the Visitors Bureau, to tell us a little bit about the carved bear capital of the world.
Okay. First, you need your carved bears.
You get a bear, and you get a bear.
You get a bear. Wow. You already have a bear.
I got a bear tag, and what they were saying is they're going to actually take me up into the Sierra and just drop me off there and see if I can find my way back to town. These are great. So
thank you for this. It's actually, we are trademarked now for Oakhurst, California is the carved bear capital of the world. This was started, I want to say, 25 years ago. Kathy McCory was our chamber director, Oakhurst chamber director at that time, and she started this process and wasn't able to finish it. Got passed down. We picked up the ball in 2022, and Brooke, our PR director at the Visitors Bureau, she got it over the finish line. It was a 3-year process to get this trademark. We are trademarked, and I think it's now a 2-year process before we can use the R, but we can use the TM now. And so we're going to go out with a lot of press on this coming up. And we've also, part of our mission at the Visitors Bureau, and part of the reason why we increased our funding, was to do a little bit of community development with that money. And so we have just awarded 12 giant carved bears to businesses who applied for grants around the county, or around the Oakhurst. And so the Yosemite Pie Company and a whole bunch of rhymers and some of the hotels and things, you'll be seeing these carved bears pop up for selfie spots around the town. And then we are working on a carved bear map, of course, and he'll have his own website and all that. So it's fun.
excellent. Thank you, Rhonda. I just want to commend you for all your work you do for the community through the Visitors Bureau. As this board knows, as the community knows, tourism is vitally important to Madera County. We had some comments about that, and I think, those comments are valid. We should know how our tax dollars are being spent, and I think, not too long from now, we'll be able to point to a one-pager and say, look, these are how your TOT dollars are being spent. And I think people will be surprised to find out how much of that money does come back to the 5th District. But feeding on some of the comments that were previously made, I just want to touch, we are one county. Supervisor Poitras does like to jab at us and give us a hard time on occasion when we get a little territorial of our districts, but he is absolutely correct. Nothing in this county happens without the consensus of this board. And I'm so proud that we have a board that works so well together. It is a big reason why we are so successful as a county. We are the biggest little county in California, and we get the job done, and that's a big part of it. And partnerships like the Visitors Bureau really propel all that work forward. So thank you again, Rhonda, for your work. Any comments, questions on this?
Yes, if I may, Supervisor
Please.
or Chair. I have a certificate of congressional recognition from the Office of Congressman Adam Gray, recognizing Madera County as the carved bear capital of the world. And I'd like to present this to you, or Rhonda.
Come on up, we'll take a picture. And I do want to thank Brooke as well for your work. I know this probably wouldn't have happened without Brooke, so thank you so much. Come on up, we'll take a quick picture, and then we'll go out for public comment.
How about if we hold our bears? There you go.
Hold your bears. Careful, they're a little sooty, so don't touch your white shirt. We get to keep them? Yes, they're yours. We have to report this on. No.
And they're all natural. They're
Oh, they're natural, they're organic?
They're organic.
All right, do we have any public comment on this item? Any online?
None online.
Excellent. We're going to move on to item 9C.
Social Services Department, presentation of a proclamation recognizing January 2026 as National Slavery and Human Trafficking Prevention Month.
Thank you. Come on up. How are you, Nikki?
Good, how are you?
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nikki Matus, Deputy Director with the Madera County Department of Social Services. I'm here today to share how our department is working to protect children and youth from exploitation, specifically from the dangers of sex trafficking. In the 2024-25 fiscal year, our department received $269,948 in dedicated funding to support this important work. These funds allow us to provide training, prevention programs, and direct services to children and youth who are at risk or who have already been affected. This funding also helps us build strong partnerships with organizations that specialize in helping vulnerable youth. Olive Charitable Organization, led by April Molina, brings together key partners like law enforcement, mental health, and victim support services to make sure we all are working together. Olive helps identify youth who need help, connects them to services, and provides education, transportation, and support to victims and the community. Kendra's Cause, led by Deborah Rush, uses this funding to teach foster youth how to stay safe and build strong, healthy lives. Their workshops help young people understand trauma, build good relationships, set boundaries, and plan for their safety. Breaking the Chains, founded by Deborah Rush and Tiffany Apodaca, receives funding to provide direct support to CSEC youth and families. This includes food, clothing, emergency housing, transportation, school supplies, job training, legal help, and support for education and life goals. Thanks to this funding, Social Services is able to support programs that prevent exploitation, raise awareness, and help children and families heal and thrive. We're proud to work with these organizations to make a real difference in our community. At this time, I'd like to invite our partners to share about some of the great events and activities they've led throughout Madera County over the last year.
Thank you. Welcome, April.
Good afternoon, Supervisors. As you all know, I'm April Molina. I'm the Program Manager at Olive Charitable Organization, and it is exciting to partner with Department of Social Services. They have a lot of resources and a lot of great people that work there. And our partnership with them includes right now the CSEC multidisciplinary team that we've been able to all come together and form to make sure that youth are getting wraparound services, those that have been exploited and those who are at risk for exploitation, as well as a number of other things that we do, right? So we have jumped into prevention this year. We were able to partner with Three Strands Global Foundation out of Sacramento. It's a very large organization, and they provide for us the Project Protect, which is training from age 5 all the way up to staff, adults, caregivers, licensed daycare providers, anybody, any community member that wants to take this training. It is available to the public. How do you talk to a 5-year-old about sex trafficking? The answer is you don't. You talk to them about safe places and safe people, right? So, but it starts there. It starts very young. And our county alone has between 500 and 600 victims of human trafficking all by itself. And we're not really that big of a county when you compare us to our big sister, the F word up, down south, right? So, we're not that big, but I'll tell you right now that the lives that are changed through this funding and through organizations like Kendra's Cause, like Olive Charitable Organization, like Breaking the Chains, it can't be compared to anything else. I've watched survivor after survivor come out just a normal human being after the trauma they've experienced and everything that has been done to them. It's incredible to watch. And just for one example, we had a young lady living in Madera who was married to her trafficker for 8 years. She met him at the back of a methadone clinic in Fresno. She was hooked on heroin, and he was a Bulldog gang member, and he trafficked her for 8 years. And she was from Madera, lived in Madera. We found her in an apartment getting ready to be evicted with her 5-year-old daughter, and we were able to take in her and her daughter into our safe transitional housing unit. And today, she is divorced, finally, right? She is clean off of heroin. She has her 5-year-old in her custody, and she's living on her own. She has a job. She wants to be a medical administrator. She's going to school, and she's engaged recently to a wonderful man from Course Gold. So it works, and building up people is our goal. That's our goal, wholeheartedly, is always to just build up and restore and help people recover from their trauma. Thank you.
Thank you, April.
So I am Deborah Rush. Most of you guys know me as one of the founders of Breaking the Chains, a direct service provider here in the central San Joaquin Valley and a trafficking leader across the nation. But I am here today as not only the founder of Kendra's Cause, but as the mother of a murdered trafficking victim. In 2024, my daughter's life was taken in the work that we do. And it's very, very difficult. And I just truly want to thank the Department of Social Services, the partner agencies that stand with us, and the County Board of Supervisors. Because of the generosity of this county, the heartbeat of this county that cares about victims, that cares about parents like me, and so many other across the state, Kendra's Cause has been able to launch with ferocity. Kendra's Cause has been able to provide prevention education services to more than 3,000 individuals, online and in person. We've been able to work with ILP youth, and we are continuing to expand. That foundation is very difficult for any nonprofit to start, but when you have the backing of a solid county like yours, the impact is not just in Madera County, although that is our focus right now. That impact is being felt county after county after county. So again, as a leader, as the mother of a survivor, and as a survivor myself, I just want to thank you, thank all the partners with me, and everything you guys continue to do to make sure that all of our children make it home safe tonight.
Thank you, Deborah.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jennifer Coronado. I'm with Captaincy Victim Services. And again, echoing what Deborah just said, Madera County is lucky, very lucky to have the support of our supervisors, our community leaders, no matter if it's Chowchilla, Madera, Oakhurst, Mountain Area, Course Gold. Again, I just want to say thank you for recognizing January as Human Trafficking Awareness, and to wear blue January 11th, because that is Human Trafficking National recognized as Human Trafficking Awareness Day. So thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. I want to start by thanking all of you for your stories and sharing some success stories. I think we all work in this day to day, and some of us more than others, but I think those success stories are really what help propel us and drive us forward with that work. So thank you for sharing those once again. Do any of my colleagues have any comments you'd like to make at this time?
I just wanted to say thank you for turning your tragedy into a blessing for others, and that's a very heart-moving story. And I know that April mentioned Protect, and RCRC has been involved in funding Operation Protect for a number of years, and to the tune of, I believe, millions at this point have been poured into that. So it's a very important program. I have 10 grandchildren, and I want them to live in a safe environment. And I appreciate people that love children and want to protect them. And getting biblical here for a second, but the Bible is very explicit about the protection of children. It'd be better to die an awful death than to offend one of these little ones. And I appreciate the people who do protect children. All of you that are in those jobs, such an important thing. And I appreciate our DA and our sheriff's deputies and sheriff for doing that. This county has made it very clear where we stand with children. We stand with children. Whether the state wants to do that or not, that's something we need to influence. And I'm very disappointed in some of the laws that have been allowed to take effect, and some that have not been passed because of partisanship behavior. Children are not a partisan issue. And they're not a toy to be played with. They are lives that matter, that grow up to be people who affect society. And I think of Tony Evans, who said, if you want to fix the world, you start with the man in the messed up home, in the messed up town, in the messed up city, in the messed up state, etc. And, if we just save one child, we're beginning to fix that messed up world, aren't we? That's what this is all about. So thank you for what you do, and I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Supervisor. Supervisor Wamhoff?
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you again, Deborah, April, Nikki, Jennifer, for everything you guys do, because when you actually experience meeting people who are on the street, who are being trafficked, and I say this every time this comes up, but it wasn't that long ago that you were not treated as victims, and where victims of trafficking, they were treated as suspects, and they were often arrested and had criminal records, and often did not get the best treatment. And so I'm so thankful that we have turned the messaging around to what it truly is. These are victims, and more often than not, they are victims as children. That's how they start. They are victims as children, as early as 13, 14, 15 years old. And so thank you guys for all the work that you do. It's just, this is one of those things where it's so transformative for these women and sometimes men, but it's one of those things that is, when you meet these people and you see those lives transformed, it's such a sight to behold. So thank you all for all the work you do.
Thank you, Supervisor. Mr. Chair. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for that great testimony. Now, I know that your organizations are all government funded. You have plenty of money, don't you? Right? Right? Oh, really? Well, April, why don't you start off, because, we can talk about, and this is great, we can talk about, hey, great job, and this and that and the other thing, but, we can help out in another way, too, because people may say, well, I can't do this, can't do that, but you can write a check, and you can get your credit card out, and you can help out these organizations that actually do the job, and so we can do more than just say thank you. April, tell us about the Olive and how we can help out from a monetary standpoint, because I'm sure all my colleagues would love to help out, and everybody out here would love to help out.
Yeah, so we are not government funded.
Okay.
No. In fact, we do have to write grants. We do accept donations. We are a 501c3 nonprofit, so everything you donate is 100% tax deductible, and it goes directly towards our survivors and prevention activities. We do get funded through that guy back there, Mr. Rick Galindo, the new chief of probation, for staff only. So we are paid for as far as staff. We are a staff of 2 people with a house that holds 5 traumatized victims, which is a whole lot of work. And so the other part to that is we do case management for victims who don't need housing. And that's also a lot of work because you have to meet them. They don't always show up, right? Because they have night hours and it's hard to flip those around sometimes. So how you can fund us is you can show up at our fundraiser. Our next one is May 14th. It'll be at San Joaquin Winery. I realize that's a far drive from here, but it is actually a really nice drive. I enjoy the drive up to Oakhurst. I'm just glad there was no snow. I don't love the snow. That's why I live in the valley. And so, but it is a beautiful drive. We're gonna have, it's called Bingo Night. We're gonna have bingo, we're gonna have hole-in-one golf, and don't tell the sheriff, but we're gonna play some blackjack. And so come out and support us. Our survivors are there, and you will never know. We don't introduce anybody because they're victims, right? And they just blend in with the crowd. They're wonderful people. They're awesome. I love each and every one of them. And so that's our next fundraiser. The other thing you can do is just go on our website, olivemadera.com. We have a donate page. If you can't make it down the mountain for our fundraiser, you can always support us online that way. Or you can just call me. My number is 559-706-8455, and I will take your check, Supervisor Poitras, as soon as your meeting is over.
All right.
So,
there you go.
Thank you.
I got my credit card here. You take my credit. Okay. And you can also see, for me, those of you who haven't been down the valley, you can see how the roads are in District 2, and see if all the money's going there. All right. Now we have another. Go ahead and give a presentation about.
Oh, yeah. No, I definitely want to tell you that again. I just want to thank Madera County and the Department of Social Services, which has funded Kendra's cause fully throughout the rest of this year, hopefully in the years to come. And so we are good. So what I'm going to ask everybody listening online and here is to please support Olive Madera. Olive Madera is definitely one of our closest partners. We rely on them. We work very closely in placing victims back and forth. Not that Breaking the Chains does not need your funds, but definitely I am here today mostly in support of Olive Foundation and Kendra's Cause. So again, get a hold of April Molina, fabulous organization. We love what they're doing, and please give. They have more room to grow. Thank you.
Excellent. Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you, April. And thank you, Supervisor, for keeping us grounded with practical and actionable, options. So thank you. With that.
Can I just
Yes,
add something
yes,
really quickly?
please.
And I hope April doesn't mind. I just want to commend April. She does such tremendous work in this cause, and it's not an easy task. It's not a lucrative arena to be in. The burden is very heavy, so I really appreciate the work that you do. But one of the things that April did at the beginning of the year was reach out to me, and she said, how can I pray for you? And my response was, thank you, April, I'll be praying for you. And I really am, because it is tremendous, the work. So I just want to thank you and thank the team for everything that you do. Appreciate it.
All right, so if I can invite you folks up, we're going to do a little picture, and I'd love to have the sheriff come up along with the DA and Rick and Brian, if you can come up and join us as well. And then we'll do public comment when we get back.
What's the matter? I think there's a cell phone next to a mic. That's what we're like getting fuzzy.
All right, so any public comment in the room or online?
None online.
None. We're going to go on to item 9D.
Board of Supervisors Department, District Number 5, discussion and consideration of entering into an agreement with National Park Service along with Mariposa, Mono, Tuolumne Counties, Yosemite Gateway Partners to establish the Gateway Charter and authorize the chair to sign.
Excellent. Are you presenting this? We didn't talk about it. Or am I presenting it? He's presenting it. Perfect.
Thank you, are we working here?
Yeah.
All right, there we go. Thank you, board. Matt Trieber, your CAO. Again, this was a very long and item here, and a lot of work went into that, certainly by our chair and our other gateway communities. Well, thanks, Wally. You're getting me there. So again, the agreement before the board and the consideration there is to enter into this with the Park Service and our other gateway communities, Mono, Mariposa services, and it really fosters open communication and dialogue and a means and a method for the Park Service to hear from our gateway counties and communities, and to have a voice and a larger representation there before the Park Service. So available for any questions if the board has.
Thank you. Any questions, comments from my colleagues? I will just say really quickly, this group has been operating fairly informally over the last 6 months or so, working very closely with our new park superintendent, Ray McPadden, and they've been extremely receptive of our comments, which is a stark change from what we've experienced in the past. So I believe, this summer, when we look at reservation policies and those sorts of things, we're going to see some drastic changes as to what we've seen over the past years, which is going to be hugely beneficial for this community as well as Madera County. So I want to commend Rhonda for all her work with it. Excited to have Christina Gallagher joining the group as well. I think she provides a great perspective for this group. I think there's a lot of potential in the future for what this group can accomplish in collaboration with Park Service as well as the 4 gateway counties around Yosemite National Park. In fact, in February, when we go to our NACO Ledge Conference, the 4 counties will be working together to visit with our legislators to talk to them about the importance of this group and the work we're attempting to do with Park Service. So with that, unless there are any comments or questions, we're going to go out for public comments.
I have a quick comment.
Yes, sir.
I have met with Ray McPadden twice in Yosemite. He gave me an hour one day, and we just had some great communications. This was previous to the enaction of a foreign fee for foreign visitors. And I had mentioned that. I said I had thought about that quite extensively, and I feel like, these parks belong to the people of the United States, and foreign visitors are privileged to be able to come and visit those parks, and that fee should be enacted. And he said, yeah, I just wrote a letter on that, and not too long ago that was enacted. So that is something that's coming about. Also, we had extensive discussions on the yards and the parking system and on the park itself, because I spend a lot of time up there in Yosemite, and to see it fall into disrepair in some areas really is sad. And he's really made some big strides in that area. I just really appreciate the relationship, and Bobby introducing him to this board, because that was fortuitous. It was important. I mentioned to him several times the impact that it would have for Highway 41 to be declared a public land access for federal lands. And that would be an important move, because of funding, would change the whole scope of how 41 is dealt with. And he agrees with that totally. So it's sometimes these relationships seem like they're just two people talking, but it ends up making a vision that comes true. And that's what it's all about. Thank you.
Do we have any public comment in the room? Come on up, please, John. Or Rhonda. Rhonda beat you there.
Of course, I'm going to comment on this. Rhonda Salisbury again, the CEO of the Tourism Bureau. This is a long, hard-fought battle. This is, and the scope of this is amazing. This is not only for Yosemite National Park, but this affects every park in the whole United States.
Right.
What we've been able to accomplish, a small group of four counties coming together with the tourism bureaus and the county supervisors on board, as well as our hotels and our lodging industry, is huge for the whole entire United States and for all of our national parks to protect these. What the national park does, and we saw this, the worst of, I've been doing this 40 years in tourism here in Madera County, and the worst of it was COVID. When we saw the national parks close and Oakhurst was a ghost town. We live and die by Yosemite National Park, unfortunately. Bass Lake doesn't care. Bass Lake happens. Thank goodness we have. But with the four gateways fighting this battle for so long, in fact, real quick, 1990, I'm on ABC News in a prisoner uniform, and I have that video. I'm in a prisoner uniform, picketing in Yosemite Valley saying, do not make us bus in. We do not want to all ride buses. You know, from that to the Merced River Plan to this. And then I have to say, Bobby, when you stepped in, I mean, we were talking, and you stepped in and you got all the county supervisors together and said, let's make an agreement. And you made that happen. So all this work, you pushed us over that edge and you made this happen for the entire United States. This is huge. Thank you.
John Perro again, Inawani. Just a point of clarification. In reading the general agreement, it says, in accordance with SO 3434, representatives will have an opportunity for input or participation in MPS planning and decision-making process at these meetings. Individual representatives will have the opportunity to provide information, ideas, opinions, viewpoints, feedback, and so forth in accordance with federal law. Here's the line. The group cannot seek consensus, and decisions cannot be made by the MPS at this meetings. So the point of clarification is, does this mean that the group is prohibited from seeking consensus as well as the MPS being prohibited from making decisions in this meeting? Because we have inputs, the local people have a lot of ideas. I've got a great idea for that park up there that I wanted a couple years, 10 years ago. But that's my point of clarification. What exactly does that mean where it says the group cannot seek consensus?
It's not a decision-making body.
Yeah, the language was drafted by the Department of Interior, and it's guided by the Federal Advisory Committee Act. And essentially what it means is this group is not here to come together and make decisions and tell Park Service what they will do.
But they can receive the decisions,
It's an advisory.
right?
They can receive input. They have received input at these meetings, and we found them to take that input under great consideration.
So if we, for example, the community says, we want 2 lanes up here by the gate, one for the buses and the employees and another one for the visitors, could they receive that, or?
They could receive that. Yeah.
Okay. All right, that was just a point of clarification. All right, thanks.
Thank you, John. Good morning, afternoon, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Christina Gallagher, Executive Director for Madera County EDC. I just want to say thank you for appointing me to this, and really honored to help out any way that I can and to work with Rhonda. We already began speaking about this, all these efforts, so just really excited to be on board.
Thanks, Christina. Perfect. Do we have any additional public comment or any online?
None online.
All right.
If there's no more public comment, I'd like to make the motion to approve.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
A second?
Motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Gonzalez.
Yes.
Supervisor Wamhaugh.
Yes.
Supervisor Rogers.
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras.
Aye.
Chair McCauley.
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Excellent. With that, we're going to move on to item 9E.
Thank you.
County Administration Department, General Services Division, Jail SB 1022, Capital Project, discussion and consideration of approval of transfer of appropriations number 25-057 in the amount of $3 million for public protection dash fund balances and appropriations for contingencies to operating transfers out. Capital projects, 4 votes are required. Discussion and consideration of approval of receipt of unanticipated revenue number 25-057 in the amount of $3 million derived from Jail SB 1022 dash operating transfers in to building and improvements. 4 votes are required.
Good afternoon, Chair, members of the Board, Joel Begay, County Administrative Office. On October 7, 2025, your Board approved Resolution 2025-105, which increased the contribution of the public protection impact fees to the SB 1022 jail project to a total of $7,248,377. For reference, the entire project is just over $27.5 million. This project is leveraging $19 million in state funding from SB 1022, as well as $1.3 million of third-party funding from the CCP. The item before you today is to move the first $3 million to the $7.2 million of public protection impact fees that have been committed for this project. We have started incurring construction costs, and since the state funding is a reimbursement-based grant, we do need to spend our local funding first and then seek reimbursement. And with that, I'm available for any questions.
Thank you, Joel. Do we have any comments, questions from my colleagues?
I do, Chair. I think when the average person looks at our budget and looks at these items that are on the agenda, a lot of people think it comes from one pot of money. And if we're spending money here, we're not spending money there for other things that might be core services like law enforcement or roads. And so can you address kind of where these pots of money come from and why these things can't be spent on things like roads or other type of core services?
That's an excellent point, Supervisor. So I will start with the local funding. The $7.2 million public protection impact fees, those are paid by developments. All the developments in Highway 41, which is causing our county to grow, puts pressure on other services like the jail. So the jail needs to expand. The recommendation is to use those dollars to pay part of that expansion. That's what it is there for. But those are paid by for each building permit. A portion of that goes into these impact fees. And there's 5 different kinds on facilities. One of them is public protection, which has the jail in there. So as we continue to grow, we're going to continue to need jail space with the growing county, and that's what those funds are dedicated for. The $19 million is from a statewide bond, SB 1022, for correctional facilities. We applied for that in 2015, got approved for it. Anyway, for a lengthy process from BSCC to get that funding in here. It's meant to expand jails, but also it's meant to expand rehabilitation. So the focus of SB 1022, as far as Madera County's grant is concerned, is to have mental health specific beds. So kind of want to highlight that the reason we got awarded that $19 million is we're trying to address not just housing, space at the jail, but also the rehabilitation side. So, and then the $1.3 million is coming from the Community Corrections Partnership. We refer to those funding as well as AB 109, and they have allocated that money because part of the programs that would be part of this expansion is for programming space for anti-recidivism programs. And those are the 3 major funding for this capital project.
Excellent. Thank you for that question, and thank you for the response. Any follow-up questions?
That's it, thank you.
Comment from
Yeah, I just want to make
Supervisor
a comment that this is the second time in my tenure as supervisor that we've done a jail expansion. And we had the foresight to go into it, didn't we, Tom? Back in 2010, 2011, and we saved the county $30 million. And when you look at it in today's dollars, it's $60 million because that cost has doubled. And now, again, we're ahead of the curve because there are a lot of counties that are not doing this. They find themselves behind the 8 ball. If you're going to have a safe county, you're going to have to support law enforcement. If you're going to support law enforcement, you're going to have a place to put criminals. and you got to have teeth, and our jail is our teeth. And we've got to be able to handle these people that don't belong in society, have a place to put them. And then I really appreciate the effort to rehabilitate the individuals that are in there. A lot of the programs that have been initiated since I've been on this board have a very high success rate, and we've talked about that in previous meetings, that the recidivism rate of those in these programs is much lower than the state average, much lower. And we do very well in these programs. So I'm grateful for the foresight of this board and our financial advisors to move forward in the addition of this facility. Thank you.
Thank you for those comments, Supervisor. Do we have any public comment in the audience or online? Seeing none, we're going to bring it back to the board.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. We do roll call, please.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Supervisor Wamha?
Yes.
Supervisor Portress?
Aye.
Chair Gonzalez? Excuse me, Chair McCully? Chair McCully?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Thank you, Board.
Thank you, Joel. Moving on to item 9F.
Sheriff Coroner's Office, Department Wellness and Operational Improvements, discussion and consideration of approval of transfer of appropriations number 25-048 in the amount of $1,918,010 from BSCC Prob-MH Training Fund Balance and DOC Trust Fund Balance to operating transfers out and appropriations for contingencies for fiscal year 2025-2026. 4 votes are required. Discussion consideration of approval of receipt of unanticipated revenue 25-048 in the amount of $76,598 derived from Sheriff's Administration and DOC Administration interfund revenue to Sheriff's Administration special departmental and subscriptions and DOC Administration maintenance of buildings for fiscal year 2025-2026. 4 votes are required.
Thank you for that. Brian?
Thank you. Good afternoon, Board. Brian Esteves, Undersheriff. This item requests is the approval to transfer funds from one county account to the sheriff's admin and the jail, which is called DOC admin account, to reimburse grant-related grant fund expenditures and to support ongoing operations and improvements. So first off, there's twofold. As mentioned, the $1.8 million that is coming from state funding, Cal Ames. It's a program that we have to implement within our jails and our counties before releasing individuals back into the community. So we've received about $3.5 million in implementation funds to do that. Today we're talking about 1.8 of that. Broken into this 1.8 million, about 236,000 is going to go towards reimbursing of salary and benefits for employees who are already working on the implementation of this program. And the remaining 1.6 will go into a trust and expenditure account. As the implementation of this is heating up, we're starting to make more frequent expenditures, and we're hoping to have that in an expenditure account so we can start operating as opposed to coming to the board every time we need a little piece out of that pot. So part 2 of this report is the receipt of unintended revenue in the amount of about $76,000, which is broken up. 23,000 of that is expenditures that we received from the state in the BSCC Wellness Grant. It was a 2-year grant that was given to us for about $75,000 that only had to go towards the improvement of the wellness and benefit of the first responder and law enforcement. So what we did with that was put gyms at our substations and things to improve their health and wellness. So we're just recouping that those grant funds and repay back the general fund with that $23,000. Additionally, there's $47,000 that we're moving from a rural sheriff's fund into our sheriff's admin. And again, that's state funding that comes to the sheriff's department for first line law enforcement services. We're going to be expending that $47,000 on a software program called Monday.com, which is going to be utilized in our countywide collaborative for our homeless response. As most of you may or may not know, is we have many members throughout the county housed now in the Sheriff's Department, and trying to provide improved services to the homeless and correct some of those issues and stuff that you see out on the street. And the last part of that is $5,900 being moved from our booking fees account at the jail to building and improvement, just improving some small bathroom renovations within the jail. And that concludes.
Thank you, Under Sheriff. Do we have any questions, comments from my colleagues? Seeing none, do we have any public comment?
We have one.
Yes, I'm not sure if this fits here. This is Janai Pero, and just wondering about funding to help extend the Madeira Rescue Mission to the Oakhurst area. Hopefully, if we can help prevent some of these crimes and get people in programs before they commit them, we can reduce some of the back end of the jail time. And spoke with the rescue mission today. Bobby, I know that you have spoken to Pastor Jesse, and just want to see what we can do to move forward on that, to bring their extension to our area. Thank you.
Thanks, Janai. I'd be happy to talk with you offline more about efforts underway to that end. Unless there are any additional public comment, we'll bring it back to the board for action.
Move to approve.
Second.
A motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Supervisor Rogers?
Yes.
Supervisor Wamhaugh?
Yes.
Supervisor Poitras?
Aye.
Supervisor Gonzalez?
Yes.
Chair McCulley?
Yes.
Vote passes 5-0.
Excellent. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and move on to pending legislation. Do we have any pending legislation?
No, sir.
Hearing none, we'll move on to supervisor and staff reports. We'll start off to my right with Supervisor Rogers.
I have nothing to report.
Supervisor Gonzalez.
Nothing to report. Thank you.
Supervisor Wamhaugh.
Nothing here as well.
Supervisor Poitras.
Nothing to report.
Our CEO.
Just Happy New Year to everybody.
Excellent. County Council.
No report, Chair, thank you.
Nothing to report. Thank you.
I was going to be clever and say I have barely anything to
I do have a couple things to report. On December 12th, I was fortunate enough to attend a wildfire task force meeting up in Sacramento. Was also able to attend a Sierra Nevada Conservancy meeting. And I'm very proud to report that our partners in fire risk reduction were quite successful in December in receiving a number of grants. Actually, they received 4 grants with a total of about $5 million. So that's our Fire Safe Council, our Resource Conservation District, and Yosemite Sequoia Resource Conservation and Development Council. So those organizations work very closely with the county and our grant writer, and those funds will go back into the community to help support fire risk reduction. So we're very proud of their efforts. Also need to report that I was in Sacramento with our CAO for an S2J2 energy and land use meeting with Secretary Crowfoot, Secretary Ross, the president of the CPUC, talking about how we can take better control of our energy here in the Central Valley. So hopeful to report back more on those efforts in the months to come. That is all. With that, our next meeting, I believe, will be here next week at 9 o'clock. So we will adjourn until that time.